How do you envision the role of technology and innovation in the future of architecture?
I think technology is a part and parcel of architecture studio. So I remember we came from in the fact that we had hand drafting drawings. The only drawback that I feel that gap is somehow the design starts on a software.
Hi, Swapnil. Welcome to Walk the Talk with Balveer. So, let's begin with your journey and beginnings. Could you take us back to the beginning? What inspired you and your co founders to start Collage Architecture Studio in 2009?
Uh, I think more than 2009, we all three worked in the same place. We uh, owe a lot of our journey to CNT and Mindspace, where we started our practice. Where we started as architects. Those were the formative years. Those were the years that we probably learned, had the confidence to, do something later. We worked for 8 years. Uh, they've always been our mentors even now. And then one fine day, we are three good friends who decided to start together, and all three were working in the same place. So I'm sure it would have been a drastic step for the parent company. But yeah, I guess they allowed us to grow. The parent company allowed us to grow in a way that I think everything is what we are is because of Sanjay Mohe, and I would give everything to him.
That's so kind and so sweet of you. I mean, it's such a humble gesture that you still give him all the credit. It's incredible. That's beautiful. Every journey has its challenges. What were some of the most significant hurdles you faced in the initial years, and how did you all overcome them?
I think, frankly speaking, we didn't have any hurdles in the initial years.
Oh,
Of course, it happened much later, but initially, I think we were very lucky. We had we had projects which came our way. We did then. Maybe as time went by, everything that goes up has its down. So we did have our downs, and then you fight it, and then you come back. So I would never call it as a hurdle or a challenge. Probably it's something that happens along the way, and you just bypass that and find a way to bypass that.
perfect. I think that's a very positive attitude to have. That takes you a very, very long way. Looking back, what's a moment or project in your journey that made you feel proud of the path you chose?
I think almost every project that we do, you constantly have some story to tell, and maybe a phone call by your client saying that you've done a nice skylight, and then he calls in the middle of the night and says, it's not beautiful only in the day, and I'm sipping a wine at 9:30 and I see the moonlight, and the moonlight is casting shadows.
Yeah.
I think those are things which make your day. I mean, whatever you do, whatever awards you get, whatever allocates you, I think nothing beats the song. Recently we did a house for Agarwal, and he woke up in the morning and we had this nice two trees which had just started to grow, and he said, you know, he sent me a message, a text saying that, that it's so nice. I forget the dining table and I can sit under the tree and have a cup of tea and said thanks. So that actually gives you goosebumps, and you keep striving to do something more and better every time you handle a design. That's what I think keeps us going.
Lovely. Collage Architecture Studio describes itself as a multidisciplinary studio. I really wanted to know why. How do you define your design philosophy across architecture, interiors, and multi level housing projects?
I think our main philosophy is to keep the solution very simple. I think there's enough of jargon going everywhere. Everybody wants to mystify uh, even a line drawn. I think we look at it the other way. If the solution is simple, the person who's going to imbibe your spaces, who's going to be in the spaces, are going to be able to understand the spaces. More important than that, they're going to make you make them feel better. And I think architecture has that power to make a person feel good. Person to like, I mean, if you why do you when you go to a temple, why do you feel that meditative space? I mean, it's something to do with the architecture, that space. And architecture is so powerful, and it's not the architect who should be powerful, the architecture should be perfect. So
I really love the example of a temple from all the things, and that to do with architecture. Nothing to do with the aura inside the temple. That's a very good
who
example.
designed the
Yeah,
temple, but you still remember the temple. So
of course. Amazing. How do you approach a new project? Can you walk us through your creative and conceptual process from ideation to execution and completion?
I think the start is always the most difficult. I'm a person who procrastinates, and I would not get that design till the last minute. So if the presentation is tomorrow, it's only you hit that eureka moment one day before, or maybe even a night before sometimes, and you keep struggling to come to that perfect or maybe a near perfect solution at the start.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's always I mean, of course, even when the design gets finalized, I think till execution, it's a journey which keeps evolving, and I really enjoy that part of it because if you look at a project, it starts at say 1 month and goes on for our projects are bigger. They go to 2 years or 3 years. So
Oh,
you have also grown as a person. So you maybe what you designed back in 2023, and if you look back at it when you're just getting executed, you think something else can just be added to it because you have grown.
correct.
And I think that growth and the way you change and being able to adapt is something which I really enjoy in the practice.
It's great that you're even able to make those changes towards the last end of, the project.
But yeah, but I think if you're honest, sometimes the clients also know that it's something better for the project, and they're ready to accept it.
Lovely. Architecture today is evolving rapidly. How do you balance modern design trends with timelessness and functionality in your projects?
For us, timelessness is the key factor in our projects because, as I said, I mean, architect doesn't is not important. It's the building that has to be imbibed by the person, and it's not art. Because in art, as an artist, could have painted and say, okay, put it on the wall and sell it off. But here, somebody else is paying for your art. He's earning for that.
So realistic. Oh my God.
So why the hell should it be about the architect? It should be about the person
Yeah, of
who's
course.
going to take it
No.
or stay in it, and that's the most important journey. So, and I think that makes it timeless.
True. Can you share a project that was particularly challenging but ended up teaching you and your team something really valuable?
I think our first housing projects, we do a lot of apartments. So when the client actually came to us, as all builders are, and I have nothing against it because it's economics, as I just said, it's economics.
Yes.
So to break away from this whole factor of design to economics was the most challenging factor in that project because you still want to do something different in an apartment and not do this boxes which everybody is seeing and be a part of this concrete jungle again. So we were trying to strive hard to balance that journey, and somehow I think at that first instance I remember an architect talking about it, a very famous architect talking about it, and said the best way to convince a client, don't show him the design, especially a builder, don't show him the design, show him an Excel sheet. So he knows that you have achieved, then go to the design part of it. So he knows that you are aware that he will achieve what you have to achieve in terms of the economics part of it, and then the design. So that was something which was a nice learning factor for me in terms of uh, especially doing this mass housing.
Nice. For young architects and students entering this field, what advice would you give them about building a career in architecture?
I think perseverance, passion, uh, are the keywords. Keep doing the same thing again and again. And it's not, design is not a field which ends with the 9 to 5 job. I mean, even if you're driving past something, you would always want see something and then figure out, oh, this is something nice. So that, you're inquisitive to know what
Right.
it is. So that thing to ask questions, challenge yourself and be consistent for a long period of time is what is important. That's what I have learned, and I still feel that I'm still learning every day that passes by. Every project teaches you something. Yeah, and I really am against this instant gratification, validation from everywhere. You don't need that. At the end of it, the work should talk and show you. Ultimately, that's what makes you happy.
Any project that holds a special personal connect for you, perhaps because of the clients, the location, or the design?
I think the house that I did for my parents in Goa, my parents never knew what I did. I mean, for them, they were always were like, how do you do this late night outs? What is this? I mean, we've also done work. How are you all doing this late night outs? And on a consistent basis, is this something that is you guys do? And I'm sure they would have their doubts that we're enjoying. And then
This is the perfect question, the perfect time, and the correct people in the room. I don't know if they are listening.
but that's how it was. And then suddenly, my parents didn't walk into the house, or probably they didn't see the house the way I had designed it. And they always were like, show me the design, show me. And I was a bit reluctant to show it to them. But the night before the inauguration, and they walked in and they saw us setting up the house, I think they realized how much of hard work I have put in for the past few years. And also, they understood space. So today, when there are a lot of students who go visit the house, my dad is the one who takes the tour for them to show the house, explaining the design probably much better than what I would have done.
And that means how well you know your parents and what they like, and every space is designed for them by you without them even having to know what you have done.
I think maybe it was just beautiful, just me saying that, yeah, this is what I can give you back.
Oh, how sweet. Where do you see Collage Architecture Studio in the next 5 to 10 years? Are there new directions or types of projects you're particularly excited to explore?
Yeah, we are getting projects which are out from our regular portfolio that we generally do. So we were mostly into housing. When I say housing, it was mass housing and individual residences. Slowly we have got into F&B now, and then we're getting institutes, which are more exciting. I mean, well, yeah, not more, but probably it's a different way of working. And I mean, you need that variety also not to get stagnant in a way. So I guess, yeah,
So, what was mass housing like?
mass housing was like apartment buildings for builders,
Okay.
row houses, villa or villaments, and
Okay. Basically, you're basically working for the
builders. Yeah.
Awesome. How do you envision the role of technology and innovation in the future of architecture, especially for your studio?
I think technology is a part and parcel of a architecture studio. So I remember we came from in the fact that we had hand drafting drawings, and then we had to adapt to AutoCAD, and then subsequently to this 3D. So further, I mean, I'm not very well versed with softwares. I mean, I'm still the hand drawn person, but I can see the change in the people that are coming in. They're so fluent and they're so well versed with all these softwares, which is a nice thing. The only drawback that I feel that gap is somehow the design starts on a software, and that's not something that I would probably appreciate.
There's no connection.
Yeah, so I always feel there should be that hand to heart connection.
Yeah.
You are starting to design.
So when you say, you are a hand drawing person, so have you even tried, doing one drawing and asking, the AI strategy to, give you more options?
No, I've never tried it.
Okay.
Probably, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, it's happening right now, so people are finding that easier. They do one drawing and then they push the rest and get some more good options. The options would took like, maybe 3 days, now come out in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe I've never.
I'm giving you a tip. Too fast. No, but when you said, like the connection, that is another level. I mean,
So
today
yeah, there are a lot of these questions which keep
AI
asking,
is going.
is AI going to take over? And I always tell them that it's not. I mean, every technology needs a human interface. Like if a machine has came in, there was a human. So you make up yourself to be ready for it. That's it.
Absolutely. I feel Swapnil is going to take another few years to, give his drawing to AI to 100%, because you come from a different genre, I think, because when you say connection, it's not a regular word used in the industry.
It would be not a like the client
It's very few people, because I meet so many. So I can clearly say, there are very few, who have that mind and heart connection to their work. It's a very different ballgame altogether.
that's what gives you satisfaction at the end of the
100%. You're here for that at the end of the day.
is that
Finally, what legacy do you hope Collage Architecture Studio leaves in the world of architecture?
I don't think legacy is a big word.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that I would really want to answer, because in that just puts too much of pressure on you to so just go
So
flow.
let me be honest. After talking to you, I was like, I don't want to ask him this question because it doesn't go with the kind of person I've understood you are. But I felt, let me ask. I shouldn't.
Legacy is this is a big
Indefinite.
boot to fill in, and there's nothing that I would say that you've done so much
Right.
to be leaving a legacy. Do work that is appreciated by the people. So not only your peers, but by the people who are going to inhabit it, and that eventually is what it.
Yeah. So you're at Acetech Bangalore 2025.
Lives because I think it was very easy for three of us to put names and have the firm. So the name collage also came from the fact that we are very strong on the philosophy that it's like if you look at collage, then it's a perfect picture. So every small picture has to fall in place to make it that collage the
True.
picture. So otherwise, even you remove one and it doesn't. So in a act of building or act of designing, it's almost like a collage. So you need you need our people who are working with us. You need the masons. You need people even doing that, standing in probably 42 degrees and putting that brick for you in a way that you have
Sure.
dreamt about. So I think that's the best part about this week.
Fab. How was the panel you were at the Acetech?
Oh,
Yeah, the panel
final
discussion that you just
but
had.
I was on the other side.
Okay.
No, it was quite provocative, and I've seen Priyanka's panel discussions for a long time, so I had to come and see it. And I think she's just probably the most provocative and person to have as a moderator.
Okay, nice. And how's your journey with Acetech been over so many years? What do you have some?
From especially the Bangalore edition from what probably I started coming in 2009, 10, and yeah, the journey is exceptional, and the way they have grown and the kind of products that they're getting. So many, there have so many innovations in the products that you see today. So it's a good field to be in right now, even in terms of architecture, because a lot of things are happening, and in our country, infrastructure is getting developed. So there is a lot of opportunity, and if you have an opportunity, you need the products or the trade as well to step up. Otherwise, your designs are just going to remain there.
Correct.
So I think that's a win-win situation for everyone.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Swapnil. Thank you for making time for Walk the Talk.
And thank you for making it comfortable.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I think it was really good to know you.